But the first couple of questions was, I feel something when I'm in my meditation. I feel like maybe something is spinning or rotating. And sometimes I feel like I can visualize myself in a particular place. I'm on a road, I'm on a street, I'm in the field somewhere. So when we first start meditating, because our minds are so used to creating thought, whether it's in the form of words or in the form of images or situations, ideas, remembering the past, recreating past things that have happened, or creating completely new fictions of what could happen or should happen. The mind is so used to being engaged in thought that it's very difficult to be able to detach from that. So sometimes, as a basic meditation, one of the simplest forms of meditation is called visualization, where you actually follow a guide who tells you to visualize certain things. I do this sometimes when I'm teaching meditation to children. I tell them to visualize that when they're in their breath, I visualize your body is like a balloon. As you breathe in, the balloon gets bigger, and as you breathe out, the balloon gets smaller. I tell them, in order to keep still, imagine that you're a mountain. So I'm using the mind to help them get into a state where they're aware of their body, aware of their breathing. So visualization is very useful. And during our meditation, when we think we're meditating, sometimes the visuals can be so profound. Sometimes the things that we see, we can imagine all sorts of things. Your mind can imagine anything. You can imagine that I am seeing the Guru. You can imagine that I am seeing a light. You can imagine that I am hearing a sound. But remember, the key focus, the supreme destination of meditation is I am not me. If you are present in this meditation, if you feel I am walking on this path, I am rotating, something is happening to me, you are still getting stuck in the idea that I am experiencing. So rather than having your eyes open and saying I am in a room or I am experiencing the present of the environment, you go in and you create your own environment. You create a new space for you to experience. But the one who is experiencing is never addressed. And so visualization, while it can be very powerful, while it can be very useful, is still a very rudimentary, basic form of meditation. And we must learn meditation with the wisdom that has always been taught with the meditation. You cannot practice meditation without understanding what meditation is trying to do. And meditation, what it is trying to do is to try and reprogram this sense of I amness within you, to reduce the sense of I am that is within you. And so we must always go back to that and say, okay, I am experiencing these things, but now I'm done with experience. I will let that go. I will free myself from that, and I'll go even deeper. What else is there? One of the very useful meditations I used to do in my early days was I would sit, and once I did my breathing for a few minutes, I would ask myself, what is being experienced? I experience that I am in this room with my eyes closed. And every time I realized what I was experiencing, I allowed myself, now I will let that go. Now I'm no longer in this room. I am just here in this body. And then I let that go. I allow my attachment to my body to go. What else? I am feeling stressed. I allow that to let go. I let go. I give myself permission to let go of that feeling. So as you go further and further and further, what you will realize is there is only one thing that is left that you cannot let go of, that I am still here. I may let go of everything, but I am still present. You realize that the presence within you can never be removed. That presence is what many traditions and cultures have said is the ultimate presence of divinity, of consciousness. And that presence is not belonging to or restricted to the owner, because once you even break the construct that this presence exists in the body, one of the hardest things to do is you're in the body, You're saying there is presence here. But you may question, is the presence just within this body? And you realize that the body is also an idea. And as soon as the idea that there is a body here goes, then the presence becomes infinite. The boundaries have been surrendered and you realize that there is far more. So I'm sharing with you what are some of the experiences that you can go through. And it's important that you hear these so that you don't then just imagine them. You don't create a new imagination within your mind, but you are guided. Where can I take this? How do I take this further?